Hello Golden State Warriors fans, we are here once again to bring you the latest news related to our team, and I would like to emphasize how committed we are to improving our performance to achieve great results. Before we dive into this intriguing news, I kindly request you to show your support by clicking the like button, and if you are not yet subscribed to our channel, I invite you all to join us on an exciting journey. Remember to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything.
A quick, but deserved, appreciation for Brandon Podziemski's rise. Brandon Podziemski has quietly, but emphatically, become one of the most impactful players in Golden State's late-season surge. While the spotlight often shines on the Warriors' big names, it's the sophomore guard who's been turning heads and steadying the ship with confidence, poise, and a growing sense of ownership over the moment. Against a lackluster Phoenix Suns team missing Kevin Durant, the Warriors found just the kind of breather they needed after a bruising high-stakes battle with the Houston Rockets, the NBA equivalent of a spa day after 12 rounds in the ring. And if the team needed healing, Podziemski looked like someone who'd already taken his medicine. Whether it's recovery, rhythm, or something only those inside the Warriors' locker room truly understand, the fact is this: since returning from an abdominal injury, Podziemski has been a difference-maker. The key? Confidence. That quiet but unmistakable belief in himself has turned Podziemski from a curious young piece into a legitimate two-way contributor. He's playing faster, more decisively, and with a control that feels years beyond his age. That was on full display against the Suns, who had no answers for his tempo, footwork, or creativity. He froze defenders mid-air with a masterclass in body control, pivoting, up-faking, gliding, turning basic fundamentals into art. It's not just the highlights, it's the impact. Steph Curry bounced back from a cold night against Houston, dropping 25 points on 17 shots before getting the rest of the night off alongside Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler. Podziemski also exited early, but only because the damage was already done. He helped give the vets a stress-free night and carried a big part of the momentum that's reignited the Warriors in recent weeks. Meanwhile, the Suns look like a team spiraling toward the offseason, out of sync, lacking identity, and clearly missing the jolt they hoped to get at the trade deadline when they failed to land Butler. The contrast between both teams, and between Podziemski's composure and the Suns' confusion, couldn't have been sharper. At times, it felt like Podziemski was toying with them. But beyond the flair, what's been most valuable is his ability to punish teams who forget about him. When defenses inevitably load up on Curry and Butler, someone has to step into that vacuum. Podziemski has filled that role beautifully. Since his return, he's averaging 15.2 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 3.6 assists across 31 games. All while shooting 53.1% on twos, a scorching 41.8% from three, on 6.1 attempts per game, and 78.3% from the line. His true shooting percentage sits at an elite 60.1%. He's also hitting short mid-range floaters at a 50% clip. That's good enough for the 73rd percentile among combo guards, according to Cleaning the Glass. But perhaps most telling, Golden State is plus 184 with Podziemski on the floor over his last 885 minutes, a net rating of plus 9.0 per 100 possessions. He's not just fitting in, he's raising the ceiling. On a team that thrives on connective tissue, players who glue systems together without demanding the spotlight, Podziemski has become a vital thread. His presence helps the Warriors flow, fill gaps, and exploit weaknesses. And as the playoffs approach, that type of player is exactly who you want. Someone who doesn't just shine in garbage time, but thrives when the lights are brightest. Now the question becomes, can he keep this going when everything is on the line? If this current stretch is the real deal, not just a hot streak, but a sign of true development, Brandon Podziemski could be the wild card that tips the balance for the Warriors. And the league might want to start paying attention before it's too late. What Steve Kerr learned from the finale of White Lotus. After the Golden State Warriors faced a disappointing loss to the Houston Rockets, head coach Steve Kerr planned to head home and dive into the critically acclaimed HBO drama series, White Lotus. While it might seem like a strange way to process a tough defeat, there are valuable lessons to be gleaned from that season finale. The Warriors bounced back impressively, crushing the Phoenix Suns 133-95. They played with such ease and confidence that it felt like they had just enjoyed a week at a luxurious wellness resort in Thailand. Yet, it's clear that Kerr may have absorbed some key takeaways from the series' final moments. 1. Don't be afraid to shoot your shot. Whether you're confronting a personal demon or simply feeling the weight of your last game where you scored just 3 points, it's natural to feel hesitant about taking risks. But sometimes, You just need to pull the trigger, even if it means looking away from the consequences for a moment. 2. Embrace the challenge. Whether you're getting a perfect lob from Steph Curry or facing criticism from a family member about your choices, it's essential to tackle every challenge head-on. What's the point of all those protein shakes if you're not ready to digest the tough moments? 3. Lock down the big threats. In the past, Devin Booker has been a nightmare for the Warriors. But in their recent matchup, he missed all 5 of his three-point attempts and turned the ball over 5 times. Maybe the Warriors' perimeter defense got distracted by flashy plays, but they learned that allowing a lethal player like Booker any room to breathe is a recipe for disaster. 4. Seize the opportunity. Life often presents moments where you must boldly seize the prize in front of you. Yes, the stakes can be high, and the path may be fraught with moral dilemmas, but you must act decisively to claim what's yours, even if it means wrestling with your conscience later. 5. Lend a hand to your teammates. In a team like the Phoenix Suns, where egos can sometimes overshadow teamwork, it's important to remember the value of camaraderie. When you see your teammates struggling, don't hesitate to step in and lend support, regardless of who's watching. Stephen Curry's bounce-back game powers Warriors to dominant 38-point win over Suns. After a rare-off night in Houston, Stephen Curry came roaring back, and the Phoenix Suns felt every bit of it. The Golden State Warriors delivered one of their most convincing performances of the season on Tuesday night, cruising to a 133-95 blowout win over the Suns on their home court. Curry set the tone early and never looked back, scoring 25 points in just 26 minutes with a +31 plus-minus before resting the entire fourth quarter. The Warriors led by as many as 41 and never trailed by more than a single point. With only 3 games left in the regular season, Golden State remains locked in a tight playoff race. If they win out, they're guaranteed a top 6 finish in the Western Conference, and judging by Tuesday's performance, they look ready. Curry's response was swift and savage. Just 48 hours after struggling from deep against the Rockets, Curry reminded everyone why he's still the most dangerous shooter in the game. He dropped 13 points on 5 of 7 shooting in the first quarter alone, including a signature no-look corner three that left Suns defender Bradley Beal grinning in disbelief. That shot wasn't just a highlight, it was a statement. Curry's confidence is as unshakable as ever. He finished with 25 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists in 3 quarters, orchestrating an offensive clinic that Phoenix simply couldn't match. Tracy Jackson-Davis makes Warriors history. With rookie big man Quinton Post sidelined due to illness, second-year forward Tracy Jackson-Davis seized his opportunity and made the most of it. He scored 13 points and grabbed 8 rebounds in 19 minutes, highlighted by 3 thunderous dunks. 2 of those came in the second quarter on perfect alley-oop connections with Curry, 1 in transition, and 1 off an offensive rebound and drive. His second slam marked his 100th dunk of the season, making him just the 19th player in the league to hit that milestone this year, and the first Warrior to record back-to-back 100 dunk seasons since 1997-98. And if that wasn't enough, he added a highlight reel poster in the fourth quarter for good measure. Podziemski keeps rolling. Brandon Podziemski continues to emerge as one of the most promising young players on the Warriors roster. After averaging over 20 points per game with elite shooting splits in April, he stayed hot against Phoenix, pouring in 22 points in 22 minutes, including 4 three-pointers. His confidence is infectious, and his efficiency is no fluke. He's shooting over 41% from deep this season. Tuesday marked his third 20-point performance in the last 4 games. Gué Santos, energy that changes the game. Brazilian forward Gué Santos brought his trademark hustle and intensity, turning heads with a stat line that would make Draymond Green proud. 7 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block in just 21 minutes. 4 of those rebounds came on the offensive glass, sparking valuable second-chance points. His ability to always be near the action makes him a fan favorite and a coach's dream. What's next? The Warriors head back to the Chase Center on Wednesday night for a back-to-back clash with the San Antonio Spurs. With momentum on their side and playoff seeding on the line, every possession matters from here on out. Notable numbers and streaks. Golden State tied their longest road win streak of the season with 5 straight. The Warriors are now 23-17 on the road and have won 11 of their last 14 away games. They've taken 15 of their last 19 games overall, including 6 of their last 7. The win ended a 5-game losing streak in Phoenix and clinched the regular season series versus the Suns, 3-1, for the first time since 2018-19. This 38-point win was the third largest margin of victory for the Warriors this season, behind wins of 42 and 41 points. Golden State has recorded 10-plus steals in 6 of their last 7 games. Since Jimmy Butler III debuted on February 8, the Warriors are 22-6 overall and an impressive 21-3 in games where both Butler and Curry start. The starting lineup of Curry, Draymond Green, Butler III, Moses Moody, and Podziemski is now 15-1 this season. Curry is just 3 three-pointers away from hitting 300 for the season, something no other player in NBA history has done more than 5 times. With Curry back in rhythm, role players stepping up, and momentum building, the Warriors are peaking at just the right time. And if Tuesday night was any indication, the rest of the league should be on high alert. Warriors playoff picture: chasing a spot, avoiding the play-in. With just a handful of games left in the 2024-25 regular season, the Golden State Warriors are deep in the thick of the Western Conference playoff race, and every possession matters. As of now, the Warriors sit in 6th place in the West at 47-32, tied with the 4th-seeded Los Angeles Clippers and just 1 game ahead of the 8th-place Minnesota Timberwolves. The stakes? Avoiding the dreaded play-in tournament and locking in a top 6 seed for the NBA playoffs, which tip off on April 19th, following the play-in round from April 15th to 18th. This final stretch isn't just about making the postseason, it's about taking control of their destiny. The play-in format: quick refresher. 7th versus 8th. Winner secures the 7th seed. Loser gets one more chance. 9th versus 10th. Loser is eliminated. Winner faces the 7th/8th loser. Final game. Winner grabs the 8th seed. Loser goes home. That's why the Warriors are pushing hard to stay out of it entirely. Momentum on their side. Since acquiring Jimmy Butler III at the trade deadline, the Warriors have been one of the league's hottest teams. They've already secured a postseason berth, whether it's playoffs or play-in, and surpassed last year's win total. But with how they're playing, there's no reason to settle for anything less than a guaranteed playoff spot. And they're getting it done against tough competition. Head-to-head season series recap. White heavy checkmark Warriors 3-1 versus Memphis Grizzlies. White heavy checkmark Warriors 3-1 versus Minnesota Timberwolves. Crossmark Warriors 1-2 versus Denver Nuggets. Crossmark Warriors 0-3 versus LA Clippers, 1 game remaining. These matchups matter a lot because of tiebreaker scenarios, which will likely come into play. Tiebreaker situation: what Warriors fans need to know. If the Warriors finish the regular season tied with another team, here's how it could shake out. They win 2-team tiebreakers against Minnesota Timberwolves, Memphis Grizzlies. They lose 2-team tiebreakers against Denver Nuggets, LA Clippers. So beating the Clippers in their final meeting could be crucial, not just emotionally, but statistically. Current Western Conference standings snapshot. Seed team tiebreaker versus Warriors. 4th Los Angeles Clippers crossmark Warriors lose tiebreaker. 5th Denver Nuggets crossmark Warriors lose tiebreaker. 6th Golden State Warriors. 7th Memphis Grizzlies white heavy checkmark Warriors win tiebreaker. 8th Minnesota Timberwolves white heavy checkmark Warriors lead by 1.0 game. With 3 games left, there's little room for error. One slip could drop the Dubs into the play-in. But a strong finish? That could land them a top 4 seed and home court advantage in the first round. The bottom line: Golden State has all the momentum, all the firepower, and everything to play for. They've got the experience, the leadership in Stephen Curry, and the spark that Jimmy Butler III has added to the mix. But now it's about closing strong. The margin for error is razor thin. But the path is there, and if the Warriors stay locked in, they won't just make the playoffs. They'll enter it as a serious threat.
Steve said he thinks over the past month or so that you're definitely taking a leap. Do you feel like you're taking a leap?
I feel like I'm playing better. But, the good players in this league do it for a long period of time, and they do it in the playoffs. And so, for me, that's really the goal, is just keep, pushing through this stride. I'm glad it worked out this way, and struggling early and finishing good late, instead of vice versa. Like I said, the good ones, the all-stars, they do it consistently, like Steph, Jimmy. They do it every night, and they do it in the playoffs.
What kind of challenges do you anticipate, in the playoffs? sustaining this throughout?
I mean, we'll see. We'll see a bunch of different things teams will try to do. Whether they. I mean, it's gonna be hard for teams because you saw the last 2 games they put the 5 on Moses. Obviously, in the playoffs we're gonna have counters for that, and so it's been interesting to see what different teams are gonna do. Every team's gonna be a little bit different, but whatever challenge is thrown at my way, I just try to keep it simple.
As you've ramped up your scoring, have you noticed defenses kind of guarding you differently, or maybe loading up on your side, or have you noticed anything like that?
I mean, I haven't ran as many ball screens as I did before Jimmy got here, so it's a little hard to tell. But they are running me off the line a lot, and passing I think is one of my strong suits. And so, just like kind of Jimmy does, you draw 2 people, you make the right play, and if they close out short, you shoot the ball. So I've just been trying to do that. My number's been pretty good.
In terms of your footwork, changing speeds with finishes and whatnot, what kind of drill work do you do for those kinds of finishes?
I mean, just what you saw there tonight is what I rep out. Just kind of understanding if guys are out of position, they try to use their athleticism to make up for it, and so just trying to use that against them. Obviously, the one in transition, I saw Book and Ryan Dunn kind of loading up to block the shot, and so I knew I could just, slow down, and sometimes it pays when you can't jump.
That you think you did a couple times tonight, slow down, transition. I guess where does that come from? Is that a move that you kind of developed, or did you learn that from somebody else?
I mean, I didn't know that footwork was legal until we played Memphis in the in-season tournament at home. And I remember Scottie Pippen and Santi Aldama both did it and just stood on one foot for the longest time. And I thought it was a travel. They told me otherwise. And so since then, I've just been kind of using that to my own advantage. Just me not being that athletic, there has to be other ways that I can figure it out. And so that's what I'm trying to do.
Have you gotten called for a travel on that move yet this season?
No.
A common theme with Jimmy is that everyone, including Coach, I think you just said that he always makes the right play. Do you think that his passing has been underrated throughout his career since being in the NBA, and why do you think that is? If so,
I mean, I think everybody knows Jimmy as playoff Jimmy, the guy that scores 50 in the finals, all that type of stuff. But I think so far, sometimes he almost passes to a fault. And we want Jimmy to be ultra aggressive. I talked to Steph before the game when tip-off started. We just tried to get Jimmy the ball as much as we could to start the game, to try to get him into rhythm. And even though he only shot 4 shots tonight, he made the right play over and over again. But I know when playoffs roll around and it's time, Jimmy will be there.
Trace had a big night tonight. Just how nice was it to see him do what he did tonight?
It's been great. I mean, I've seen him do it in the low-minute games for guys that are in the state-ready group. He's been doing it for the last couple weeks now. So it was good to see him, Pat, Kevin, Jackson, and Braxton get out there and get some run. But he's just staying the course. He's being an ultimate pro about it. I know it's probably tough going from starting to being a rising star and then just all of a sudden not being in the rotation. I know that can be tough mentally for him, but I think me and him play video games every night together, and so just trying to keep his mind off that stuff. But he's been an ultimate pro about it. He gets in the gym, gets his stuff done, and just ready when coach needs him.
Cool. We got to catch the flight.